Hey, guys, we're rolling.
Oh,
Oh, man.
Sorry, didn't see you dudes there. What's up?
Welcome to the latest episode of your favorite show, Indie Rockers Ball.
We got the latest in music news, hot takes on the newest releases, good vibes only, and a new live performance from Summer Skillen.
You got that right. Here on IUP TV, we're always chilling.
Since the start of her tour back in September, Lana Del Rey has been providing fans with many guest appearances during each of her shows. Some of these musicians include people such as John Baez, Sean Lennon, and Chris Isaak. Last Monday, Lana performed at the Belco Theater in Denver, Colorado. Here she brought on 2 additional guests, Julia Jacqueline and Death Cab for Cutie's Ben Gibbard. When performing with each of these artists, she assisted them in performing a song of theirs. Lana and Julia performed Don't Know How I Keep Loving You off of Julia's recent LP titled Crushing. The singer also worked her magic into a Death Cab for Cutie staple song titled I Will Follow You Into the Dark. The duet between each musician created a harmonistic blend of each artist's voices. Lana Del Rey's Norman Rockwell tour will be continuing on for the rest of November. The last show will be in Nashville, Tennessee on November 19th. The singer also has plans to appear in Casey Musgrave's Christmas special on November 29th. What did you guys think of the collaborative covers of each of these songs and Lana Del Rey's new album? Let us know with your thoughts on Twitter at IRBTV with the hashtag MusicNews.
Ozzy Osbourne has announced a brand new solo album called Ordinary Man, and it will be released sometime early in 2020. This will be Ozzy's first album in 10 years and will be featuring Guns N' Roses' Duff McKagan on bass, the Red Hot Chili Peppers' Chad Smith on drums, and Andrew Watt, Post Malone's music producer, on guitar. Ozzy has recently released a song called Under the Graveyard to hype up the album, and honestly, it screams Ozzy Osbourne in a typically morbid tone. With finger-picked acoustic guitar, a slick-sounding hard rock riff, and copious studio effects, there's also just a touch of oohs and ahs to make the chorus pop. It's cold in the graveyard, we all die alone. It sounds like Ozzy, and remarkably, Ozzy's voice can still tear through your soul. Are you excited about Ozzy's new album? Let us know on our social media with the hashtag MusicNews on our social media at IRBTV. How about a 7 of Hearts?
Nah, go fish.
Yes.
Yo, guys, come on.
Oh, shoot. Oh, sorry, dudes.
We'll get it next time.
Yeah, we'll get it. Okay, oh, man. So, what blood sacrifice did Ozzy perform to keep making some bomb music for this long?
I don't know. Maybe the secret was in him drinking that bat blood.
Yeah, or maybe it was pissing on the Alamo. It was one of the two. Do you think Lana Del Rey will still be making music like that when she's like in her 70s?
I know that old bag Cher, she's been doing it too.
Yeah, well, she's really 70? Holy crap. All right. Well, that's hella tight, Steven. Up next, we have a music lesson with our homie Jet and some new sick tracks from Weezer and my man, George Michael.
Take it away, Jet. 3 of Hearts.
Go fish.
How's it going, rockers? Welcome back to another episode of Music Lesson. This week on Music Lesson, I'm going to be teaching you Anthem of Our Dying Day by Story of the Year. So it's going to be in the same tuning as the last music lesson, which is drop C sharp. So everything's tuned down half a step, and then your D would go down to a C sharp. So you're going to start with the intro, and it's going to be this barred chord on the 4th fret, and you're going to put your pinky on the 7th fret of the D, and you're going to play that. You're going to play that for once, and then you're going to slide it up, and it's going to be an octave. So you're going to have your pointer finger on the 9th fret of the A, and then your ring finger on the 11th fret of the G. And you're going to play it like this. And you're going to slide it down 2 frets, so it goes, and you slide it back up. So when you play it together slowly, it's like this. So you do that a few more times once you get through the first verse of the song, and then you go to the lead up to it. The only thing you change on the end is instead of sliding up, you go from this. All right, so right before you're about to get into the chorus, instead of sliding up and doing this octave again, you just hit the power chord where your pointer finger's on the 5th fret and your ring and pinky finger on the 7th fret of the G and the D. So you're going. So that brings you to the chorus, and then you're going to play a diminished A. So you're going to play a regular A chord, but you're not going to play the 2nd fret on the B string. So you take it off and you're just playing this. So you play that, and then you bar the 2nd fret, the top 3 strings, and then you're going to put your pinky on the 4th fret of the G. So it's like the same position almost as your original chord, except you have it down a string, so it's. And you go back to the original chord. And then for the last part, all you do is play the power chord on where your pointer's on the 4th, and you go up to the 5th, and you go up to the 7th. That's basically it. So all together, the whole song should sound like this. All right, that is how you play Anthem of Our Dying Day by Story of the Year. Thank you guys very much for watching, and as always, we'll see you next week.
Almost 3 years after his death, the first posthumous single of George Michael has been released. The song, This Is How, We Want to Get You High, is the first original material of Michael's to be released in 7 years, according to a press release. It was first played on the Zoe Ball Breakfast, a show on BBC Radio 2. Though the song is upbeat, the lyrics feature deep subject matter. The lyrics, written exclusively by George, see the star addressing society's ills with his trademark blend of self-deprecation and wry humor. The press release also stated, the song will be featured in the upcoming film Last Christmas, starring Emilia Clarke and Henry Golding. The titular song in the film was actually first recorded by Michael with his band Wham! In 1984. It hit #1 in 3 countries, as well as #2 in 8 countries. The film features many songs from both Michael and the band. Michael had previously given the rights to make the film to director Emma Thompson. A lyric video for the song is on YouTube now, and the film was released on November 8th.
Hey folks, here's a tasty new video from alt-rock legends Weezer. Just earlier today, November 11th, Weezer released a new music video for their electric charged single, California Snow, a track that will be on their newest album anticipated to come out in 2020. California Snow is a featured track in the movie Spell, an indie horror comedy movie that was released the 1st of this month. This video features the actor Adam Devine acting as a psychotherapist with some interesting techniques to the movie star, Brendan Walter, as well as several scenes from the newly released film. The video was likely released to drum up some hype for the upcoming 2020 album Van Weezer, the highly anticipated 14th album for the prolific rockers. Early in September, Weezer released another single titled End of the Game, which will also be appearing on Van Weezer. Fortunately, the album is set to release just before the band kicks off their Hella Mega Tour with Green Day. I don't know about y'all, but I'm glad to see some of my old favorite bands still kicking it. Talk about a nostalgia blast. Let us know what y'all think about the video with the hashtag IRB on Twitter.
Okay, you guys, if you can't pay attention, we're gonna get Ian and Liam the host again, okay?
Ah, shoot. Well, you know, Gage, I really like that George Michael cat. Nothing beats lighting some candles, running a hot bubble bath, and listening to Careless Whisper.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly. And nothing takes me back to getting shoved in lockers by jocks more than some good old Weezer. I tell you what, say it ain't so, Steve, but I think we got a new Rockers review up next.
You got that right, Home Slice.
Yeah.
Today we're taking a look at all of the albums from Weezer. Take it away, dudes.
Howdy doody, Rockerinos. My name's Ian, and I'm here with the IR Boys. We're here to talk with you lovely viewers about Weezer and some new releases they've been having going on, and just about Weezer as a whole, because we love Weezer.
Yeah.
So, what's the first time you guys have seen Weezer live? Because I have, I know you have.
I have not. I am going to see them on the Hella Mega Tour, but I've recently kind of jumped into Weezer since I've known both of you.
Yeah.
Because I know that when we talked about it, I think like last semester when the Black Album came out, I believe.
Yeah, it was
We
Black
had
Album.
a whole talk about that, and you guys bringing the recommendations to what I should have listened to really got me more into Weezer. Like I know that I only listened to like the Teal album before
Yeah.
you guys kind of enveloped me into what Weezer really is, and like. I got the Ratitude, I think album
Ratitude,
was
yeah.
Girl, if you're wondering if I want you to, I want you to.
Yeah.
That's my favorite Weezer song.
Solid.
And like you can't beat the classics like Eye Under the Sun, Hash Pipe.
Yeah.
All of those great songs. I'm just getting into them, and I'm just getting started. I'm excited.
So you said Hella Mega Tour. When's the first time that you saw them?
It was one of the X Fest in Pittsburgh. I think when we were talking about it, we saw them at the same one.
Yeah.
We didn't know each other back then.
Absolutely not.
It was Panic at the Disco, and then Weezer came on. So you had a big mix of crowds.
Yeah.
And I remember it was just so funny. I walked up to the pit for Weezer to get a little bit closer. Some older guy was looking at me. He was like, "How old were you whenever the Blue album came out?" And I was like, "Dude, -5 years
Yeah,
old."
really.
I was like, "You can find this music a little bit later now." Everyone loves Weezer, it seems
Oh yeah.
like.
My favorite part of that show specifically, though, because I went to it too and I loved it. My favorite part was when they were live tweeting the show and putting it up on up on the screen behind them, and it was like, man, these 35-year-old dads still know how to rip it.
Oh, yeah, dude.
It's like stuff like that, and that's so funny because I think it really showed the generation gap and kind of brought it it brings people together because I know when I got the tickets, the first person I asked to go see it with me, I was like, "Dad, you want to go see Weezer?" And he was like, "Oh my God, yes."
That's so cool.
So, they've been releasing a lot of new stuff recently. Have you guys been listening to it at all?
Yeah, I didn't really get a chance to listen to the Black album, but I listened to a lot of songs on the Teal album, mainly just because I love whenever bands do covers, especially of popular 80s songs, and they had one of my favorites of all time, Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Yes.
Because when Tears for Fear did that, I'm a big Tears for Fear guy, because
Yeah.
I like the darker vibe of music, so I really liked the Teal album.
What about
I
you?
thought, because I know they released the End of the Game just to kind of hype up the Hella Mega Tour, which is phenomenal. I know we were talking about earlier that it makes you want to go back to that teenage head thrashing mode that we all were into.
Yeah, I can
did-
say you definitely. I knew you would say End of the Game because you're big on classic rock, and I listened to it, and I'm like, yeah, Liam, 100%, you love it. I'd say for me personally, my favorite work that Weezer's ever put out. Now, obviously they have an incredible discography, so it's almost impossible to pick one standout. But just because I got to see it live, and it was kind of like a culmination of all the style throughout the years, I really love the White Album. There's a little of something for everybody on it. And seeing it live just made it that much better because Weezer's one of those few bands I will say sound the exact same live as they do on an album.
And that's cool
So-
too because you have a memory with that too. Like not only like you could go to a concert for like the worst album that band has ever made. And I feel like that it's kind of an experience too, like being there and hearing the
Yeah.
song. It's a memory. So like I feel like it's got although the White Album is still phenomenal. Like it's probably one like if not their best album that they've made. But it's definitely like, you have a memory alongside that. So that just makes it even better. Like it just highlights.
Yeah. So with new music on the horizon for Weezer, what do you guys expect out of this next album? Do you expect it to be funny? Do you expect any more covers? Do you expect it to be, or more like serious, kind of like the White Album was?
I feel like the next album they're gonna keep going in the direction they are, just keeping up like their alternative roots, keeping it to the more of the lighthearted side of things, like the White Album. Like while the White Album was serious, it also had a lot of summer vibes, is how I would say.
Chill
Summer vibes to it, and they always keep like a happy like tone to their music, unless we're talking about like Pinkerton, but like they haven't done stuff like Pinkerton since Pinkerton because it was so critically like received, so weird that people called it creepy and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and that kind of brings me to think about Pinkerton though. Like, it's kind of cool to see them branching from their own, like from their regular style, and kind of seeing that as like, hey, we did this and we took this route. We're not ashamed of it, but it didn't work. So here's more stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
They like experiment a little bit. But honestly, when I think of this new album, I think that it's going to be a mix. So like, I know that at the end of the game, they had all that upbeat, like, rock and roll vibe that I really enjoy. And I know they just released a new one very recently. I know that our director and producer Paige just showed us a video. I forget what the new song was actually called. But I know that they just released it, and it was like totally different than the end of the game, and that's also on the same album.
I believe it's California Snow.
Okay, so like
And it's with Adam Devine stars in it. So that made it. I was a big Workaholics fan, so I thought that was really cool. But this is kind of showing a little more of like an electronic side of things, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I've seen them kind of experimenting with that in the past with some of their covers, especially on the Teal album. So I'm excited for this album.
Oh yeah, same here, 100%. Especially because like, they're like branching out a little bit. They're experimenting as a band. You said they dipped their feet a little bit into the kind of electronic vibe. But like they're definitely like I can see like a mix of like a lot of things that they're trying to do, and I think it's working. I know that California Snow really wasn't my vibe, but the good thing about an artist is that they want to have an album with something for everybody.
Yeah, that's always something that I've liked about them as a collective band. I will definitely say that I hope there's a mix, and I hope that it's, I'm excited for new Weezer, but I still want Weezer. I don't want changed Weezer, I want new Weezer,
Yeah, you get a little bit of everything.
I don't like what a lot of these bands are doing, where a lot of them, they'll release stuff and it's totally, out of pocket, like in comparison to their old work, and it kind of, it breaks your heart to see a lot of people making like a change with the times. But on top of that, I think that's all the time we have, so definitely listen to Weezer's new single that came out and some of their amazing discography. If you haven't listened to Weezer, I would recommend them 10 out of 10. So that's all for this Rockers Review. We will see you next time.
Peace.
12 long years before the Jonas Brothers gifted us the certified holiday jam, Girl of My Dreams, which featured memorable lyrics like, "You can take this awesome scarf my grandma made for me," the boys are back with another festive bop. The song is titled Like It's Christmas, and it's basically a loved-up tune about finding that special someone who makes every day feel like a holiday. With a finger-snapping beat, falsettos, and some horns and sleigh bells, you've got an instant Christmas classic. This new single marks yet another milestone of JB's comeback after the band gave us a new album, Happiness Begins, a candid documentary, and an ongoing world tour. Their reunion is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Have you listened to this Christmas song? And if so, what do you think of it? Let us know on our social media with the hashtag MusicNews with your thoughts on this festive new holiday song.
17-year-old Billie Eilish is taking the initiative to eliminate the challenges impacting our environment today. She's teaming up with Global Citizen for her Where Do We Go tour, set to take place next year. Her tour is already sold out, but globally conscious fans will have a chance to win tickets this year performed live if they take the steps to support environmental change. Billie took to her Twitter on Friday to encourage her fans to sign up to take action for a more sustainable world by entering an email where they can learn more about climate change, pollution, and poverty. There's not been a deadline released for signing up for the campaign, but fans are strongly encouraged to be a part of this huge event. To sign up for a chance to win tickets to her tour and to take environmental action, follow the link in Billy's announcement video on her Twitter page. Right up next, here's Check This Out.
Wait, guys, you're too prepared this time. We weren't even rolling.
So that's why the teleprompter wasn't moving.
Man.
Well, we'll just do it again.
Yeah, all right, we got this. All right, I got this. Okay, wow, Steven, how about that new music, eh?
Yeah, well, Billie Eilish is one of those artists you either seem to love or hate.
Yeah.
Guys, it's Eilish. Like, whatever, just keep going.
Okay, yeah, well, here's what you're really here for, a performance by Skillen. Let's hear it, dude.
Hey Rockers, you joined us here for another performance on Check This Out. In the studio with us this week making her debut on IRB is Skillen. Summer is a freshman. Make sure to stick around for the performance and the interview after, where she'll explain stuff about her original music.
Hi, my first original song tonight is called Unreliable. A distance through metaphors and obscured meanings of truth. I just wanted to get to know you, sharing thoughts I've never shared before. But the problem is it started this war. Battles of connection and chemistry versus timing and priorities. His mind is far gone from this battlefield, but I was still shocked when he revealed I'm Mr. Unreliable. I'm as flaky as they come. I don't know the courtesy of a no, but I'll keep on giving you hope, 'cause that's just how it goes. I'm intently watching every move for his sleight of hand, 'cause I desperately want this to be a trick I can understand. It's 2 a.m. and I took the risk, and now I'm fighting the loneliness. All I wanted was to see your face, but all I got was a name on a screen and his message. This is what he said to me: I'm Mr. Unreliable. I'm as flaky as they come. I don't know the courtesy of a no, but I'll keep on giving you hope, 'cause that's just how it goes. But that's not how it goes, 'cause life's too short to wait around. You say you're stressed, well, aren't we all? So as I try to rid my mind of your sleepy eyes, I'll remember what you said. You're Mr. Unreliable. You're conquer that.
Hey Rockers, you guys just listened to a few songs from Summer, and I actually have her here with me now for a short interview about said songs. So I guess I'll start off with, how are you, Abundance?
Oh, I'm just doing great. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah?
I really enjoyed performing for everyone. So
I know you're a
thank
freshman,
you.
so this is your first time on here, correct?
Yes, it was. Yeah, it's been basically my first time doing everything on campus.
yeah.
Open mic, things like that. I did a lot of acting back in high school. Haven't found an outlet for that yet.
Okay.
But yeah, just
well, at least the music thing's down.
yeah,
you found
just,
things to
yeah,
do there.
easing into it. Yeah.
So I guess one of my first questions is, how did you come about music? I guess what age were you whenever you discovered that you liked to write things?
I've always enjoyed writing things. Like I remember keeping dream journals like every summer and writing down in that. I remember writing poetry very early on. I can't even remember, just very early. Then the first time I probably picked up the guitar is when I started putting those words into, music.
Yeah.
And I've just always been drawn to it. The first thing I wanted to be when I grow up was a singer. That was like the first thing. And it's just, it's just morphed throughout the years, and I found different places just to express myself. And yeah, I've really enjoyed it. So short answer, very young.
Yeah.
I was very young.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I was never able to really write poetry, but that's probably really useful to be able to just take those words and be like, oh, here you go.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the times, like sometimes it's not always, oh, I write something and then I put it to music. Sometimes I'll just be messing around on the guitar and then, a lyric will come with it, and, write with the guitar. If I'm walking about on campus, you just write.
Yeah. Do you ever feel that songs are a final product, I guess? Or are they always like a work in progress?
Oh, yeah, it really, I feel like they're always a work in progress. I think, especially because some songs I've written when I was very young, but I still kind of think there's something there that I would like to take and play with and maybe incorporate into another song. So I think it's definitely an ongoing process.
Well, I hope this interview goes ongoing. I hope you come back next season or in the future, but I think that's all the time we have for today.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I loved being here.
Absolutely.
Oh, man,
It's all right.
I don't know what it is. It's just something about like an acoustic guitar. It brings out the waterworks in me.
We're rolling.
Oh, shoot. Okay, all right. Wow. Oh, sorry about that, folks. Aha.
Gage, it's all right. Real men show their emotions, and that was an actually really emotional performance.
You know what? It sure was, friend. It brought back vivid memories of my beloved Seymour. I'll never forget that fish.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. You can reach us on Twitter at IRBTV and on Instagram at IndieRockersBall.
Heck yeah. We also post full episodes on our YouTube page, which can be found with a quick search of Indie Rockers Ball.
Until next time, rockers, keep on rocking.